So, I've made this video before, and I ended up making it private and then deleting it because I kind of started getting ashamed of my past, which I shouldn't be ashamed of because I preached so much before about not being ashamed of it, and that's what helped me get through it. But I want to make this video over again. So, what I want to talk about is my history with addiction and what it taught me. So, my addiction started out during a relationship. It's a very, very rocky, bumpy, terrible relationship. Um, the female I was with was suicidal. She was homicidal. Um, and I didn't know that until further in the relationship. I kind of noticed, but I didn't know how bad the homicidal part was. Um, but I've caught her trying to kill herself in my bathroom, different stuff like that, just trying to harm herself. And I started on a prescription of Xanax from my doctor to help dull my anxiety during this. I didn't tell him about the relationship, of course, but it helped. So I started taking them. And I started taking them. I started taking more. I started taking more, and then I got dependent on them during the relationship, and they just helped. And when that relationship ended, I had spent so much time invested in this person. Every day, she basically lived with me. When it ended, I had nothing to do. I filled all of that void that I had, all of that boredom, all of the feeling of love lost with pills, with Xanax, with sometimes other pills, alcohol. Um, and eventually, I either was a zombie or I was the Hulk. I was either destroying stuff in my room, being mad at the world, or I was high off my ass. And one day I was being the Hulk in my room, and my mom begged me to go to detox. So yeah, at that point I had realized I had an issue. I realized that I had an issue for a long time. It just honestly, for people who've never been through addiction, it takes for you to let go of pride in order to actually let somebody help you. It doesn't take, like people think, for you to realize just that you have a problem. That's the first step to getting help. It takes you to realize you have a problem and to put down your pride and just let yourself be helped, because a lot of people are scared to let people help them, and it takes pride, letting go of pride to do that. um so I let go of my pride, and I spent about a week in detox. It was for my birthday, and I let that be a birthday present from my mom, was me getting clean. And I mean, in a lot of detox facilities, you hear about people living great and doing what they want and blah, blah, blah. I was locked in a facility with a bunch of other addicts. We barely went outside except to smoke, and that was every 2 hours for 15 minutes. And all I had to do was read. So I got in touch with something that I had been studying for 5 years. For years. Buddhism. I read a book called Buddhist Boot Camp, and was reading through the book and was trying to find ways to apply what I so believed in heavily to my life at the moment, and I could find nothing to help me. And then one day, near the end of my detox, I found a quote saying something along the lines of, I may not be where I expected, but I think I'm where I need to be. And that hit me because I had such high expectations for myself growing up. Um, I've never gotten below a B in my life. I passed my state testing with almost perfect scores during high school. I've won math, spelling, writing competitions statewide. I thought I'd be a scientist by now. I thought I'd be something great by now, and that's not what happened. My life didn't go any nowhere near where I expected it to go. But the part where it said, I think I'm where I need to be. Before my addiction, I didn't love myself. It took for me to socialize with different people going through the same thing almost as me for me to realize that I am beautiful as well. I never thought that I would be in a room full of addicts trying to understand just how to get better, how to make myself better, how to get out of the situation we were all in. And what I did was I started looking at different people and realizing that not everybody is just good or bad. Everybody has their good side. Everybody is beautiful in their own way. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. I met so many people there that I will remember for the rest of my life. And they taught me that despite flaws, we all have a beautiful side. I'm human. I'm no exception. So I started to convince myself to, whenever I started thinking negatively, think that I'm human too. I'm beautiful. I have a beautiful side. I have flaws as well. But that's acceptable. That's what happens. That's how people are. And so I started to look for the beautiful characteristics in other people and compare them to myself a little bit. And I started to learn to love myself. And that's when I started incorporating more Buddhism into my life, more mindfulness. Um, like I said, I had high expectations for myself. I never thought I'd be here. But ultimately, if I didn't go through my addiction, I would have never learned to love myself completely. I mean, it's not complete, but I'm getting there. I'm a whole lot better than I was. And I learned that in the process of studying more Buddhism, I learned that in order to love somebody, you have to let them be free. You have to let them be free. And that's why if a drug addict or a drunk, somebody I could tell comes up to me, asks me for money, I help them if I can. Even if I know they're going to get drunk, even if I know they're going to get high, I know how it is to know that nobody understands what you're going through. What that person needs when they ask you for money is not the money. They need somebody to hand them the money. They need to know that somebody cares at the moment enough to even help them make bad decisions. Just and maybe me doing that one day will remind somebody that they're making a bad decision when they're ready, if they're ready. And hopefully, giving them that freedom to make their own decisions helps them learn to love themselves as well. Um, like I said, love, you ultimately have to give that person freedom, or it's not love. And I can think of somebody I love so dearly right now that's struggling with this. And she's on the line of she knows she has a problem. She's known she has a problem for a long time. And she just can't get past the pride part of it to accept the help. Um, I don't understand, but I'll love this person no matter what. I mean, I could never, now that I know I've been through it and stuff, I know that she just needs to be loved no matter what. I won't get involved in her other situations, but I just want everybody to know that you don't understand what people are going through at all. No one understands what anybody else is going through. So don't judge too much just because somebody is using drugs instead of work, instead of sugar, instead of other things to fill the void of feeling worthless, pointless, empty, not knowing your purpose, any other issues that that person is having that they're using these drugs to fill the void of. You never understand, you don't know. So have a little compassion, and anybody who's having the issues that I've been through, anybody who's struggling with drug issues, just realize that if you do realize you have a problem, you need to let go of your pride and accept that help, because it will save your life. It will really save your life if you just accept help. And yeah, that's basically my story in a short, long ass video. I didn't mean for it to be 10 minutes, but I wanted to at least explain it again and let people know what I went through and just give some advice, I guess. Open some minds, let some people see a different perspective. But that's pretty much it. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Peace.